Welcome back, everybody, to Hypothetically Sound. We hope that you're having a good day, and welcome back to another Mythical Creatures episode. In this one, we're going to talk about one I find pretty interesting because it's a unique one, and that is the Boogeyman. Uh, Now, what makes the Boogeyman interesting to me, at least, is that he's not like a creature that exists. The Boogeyman, when it first started out, was used as a way to put fear into children for doing wrong acts. So it was used as like a fear template, like your kids misbehaving. Well, the
A
Boogeyman's
Catholic
gonna come see you.
anti-masturbation tool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like Boogeyman does mean the devil in many cultures. So yeah, it's the Boogeyman is wild just because, like I said, it doesn't have its own presence. It really doesn't even have a identity. It's just a
Right. It doesn't have an
literally a
embodiment.
mythical creature that
Dude,
people made
Or
up in many
it
cultures.
It is
Uh,
the embodiment, really, of terror.
Yeah.
I was gonna say on some real shit, like the Boogeyman's interesting because I feel like no matter what age you are, you always have one with you.
Mm-hmm. And it's the thing, like Boogeyman now, like nowadays, like it can be on anything. It's used in shows to describe like serial killers, like they're the Boogeyman, or like it's used in the same realm that's the Tooth Fairy for some people. Like it's everywhere, used interchangeably with anything. Uh, do you guys recall any times that the Boogeyman was used against you as a child or even adult?
Oh yeah. So I don't know if Xavier you remember, but when we were a lot younger, when
Yeah,
grandma had a
a
house in
lot.
Minneapolis, we had some cousins, maybe brothers to some, who like to play Boogeyman with us all the time. Call.
What?
They turn off all the lights and try to scare us, lead us to, the not the attic, but like the porch and shit, and make us scream and scare the shit out of us when we were like what, 4?
Uh,
Yeah. Sometimes tape us to a door and then shut off all the lights and make spooky noises like boo. But we're 4, so
uh,
that shit sound awful. You know what I'm saying? Because we were panicking.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so I want to talk on this because you've brought this up before.
Yeah.
Now it's not an excuse. It makes me a shitty person, but I
Yeah,
did
yeah.
it because I was still 5 years, 4 years younger than Kevin and Xavier, I mean Kevin and Jamal. And so, like, you guys were 4, I was only 11. They were 14, 15, 16, whatever the
So
age
you picked
was.
on us.
It
So
was
you want to
either
get picked on.
it was either join in with them or be part of the like bullying. And like I said, doesn't make me a good person. And like I became your guys' boogeymen because my boogeymen were right there too. And don't get me wrong, like I did stop them from doing certain things that I thought was too extreme, or if I thought things were going too far, I did my best to end it. Like when you guys are on the porch and they're sitting there laughing, and like I'm like, okay, this has gone on for 60 seconds, 90 seconds. That's enough. Like they are legitly terrified. Like that's
Mhm.
enough. Or when our parents would make you guys box, like I would like, no, that's like we don't need to do that. That's enough. Uh, so yeah, like I just wanted to talk about it. Like it makes me a shitty person. Like looking back on it, I should have done more. But at the same time, I was 11-year old that was being bullied by his older cousins into bullying his younger brother and cousin. Uh, and that's the thing. I think that's what makes the boogeyman so scary in general is this fear that there is something worse. Like the boogeyman is also used to make people do things, kind of like Slender Man or other evil creatures that people like use to prey upon the mentally weak or mentally susceptible into doing things that they normally want to do out of this fear that this mythical creature is going to come and them.
Come
Uh,
in them.
come on them.
Weird.
That went weird. No, it was gonna
You
attack
said
them.
it.
I said, no, come at them. I said, come at them.
Okay.
Weirdo. I do remember. I think there is a moment where the boogeyman was actually used, and it was for homework. Like they were like, oh, if you don't do your homework, the boogeyman's gonna come and get you at night. And it was like teachers, it wasn't even parents, 'cause parents didn't care. It was teachers used it in school. Like, you guys don't do this, you misbehave. You had to watch out for the boogeyman. Of course, the parent and the teachers are being sarcastic because they know it's fake, but you got a bunch of like third and fourth graders like, oh shit, the boogeyman's coming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think it's just an interesting concept that like anything that goes bump in the night that's unexplained is either ghost or the boogeyman, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's weird that's a universal concept that means anything, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's just an evil figure in every place that can be associated with being a boogeyman of that particular area.
Mm.
And I think that's what makes the boogeyman the ultimate like horror film villain that I think is not utilized correctly. Like, it's the thing, like there could be 1,000 boogeyman movies because like it literally could be a different iteration every single time. Or even a movie
Uh-huh.
where the boogeyman literally changes, like you don't know what the boogeyman is because it changes shape. It's like a thing from Harry Potter that changes to your worst fear, which I think is what she made it after, was the boogeyman. Uh, so yeah,
Makes sense.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, yeah,
I
that's
mean,
fair.
that's quite
Boogeyman,
literally in what it is
anything and
the
everything.
creation. Yeah.
So what is your guys' takes on parents or adults who use the boogeyman to try to trick their children into doing things, right or wrong?
Wrong.
I think it's a mixture. I think if you're doing it, you know, in a way that's not super terrible, I don't think it's necessarily bad to kind of scare your child into listening.
Why do you
Like
think
I
I
think
wrong?
it.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
oh sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think it's like, just kind of like encroaching upon the fear of the unknown sort of aspect of human nature.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't think it's wrong to do that, to kind of use that, stimulate that part of the brain.
Okay, Alec, why do you think it's wrong?
I so like I don't know. I feel like there's just better ways to communicate with a child on how to what's right or wrong, right? Like you shouldn't do the whole like, oh, don't do this or the boogeyman's gonna come and get you. Like I feel like that could cause some issues for some kids in the long run, like thinking they see shit at night. Like the same parents that do that are the same parents that complain that their kid is up screaming at like 3 a.m. and running to the room and shit, because they heard something, the house settling or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And it's crazy if you think about it. The boogeyman is very similarly used as to Santa, except for the boogeyman is all negative, but Santa can be negative or positive. Like if you're a good kid, Santa brings you presents. If you're a bad kid, he brings you coal. Or the Tooth Fairy, like there's different iterations where people use her as, if you're a good kid and you lose your tooth and you put it on your pillow, she'll bring you money. If not, she can blah blah blah, be scary. Uh, and it's crazy that that the boogeyman was seen as the devil, like the devil on your shoulder, when
Mm-hmm.
it first started, and then all of a sudden parents couldn't control their kids, and in all the cultures apparently couldn't control their kids, and started using this mythical creature that was said to be the devil at first, and started using it as a way to like scare their kids into doing the right thing.
I mean, would it be hard though? Because like all myths start way, way back usually, right?
Yeah.
So like back then, kids go missing, just be like, oh, it's a boogeyman.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know why little Timmy's not in your class anymore? Because he ain't his goddamn vegetables. The boogeyman got him. Now your kid's eating vegetables and is crying because he thinks Timmy's dead. I mean, Timmy might be dead. But like, you know what? He thinks a fucking strange monster took Timmy, and he's next. You know what I'm saying?
A
Yeah.
strange monster could have took to me. We don't know.
Something did.
No, it's great. Like
R.I.P. Timmy.
RP
RP
Timmy.
Timmy.
Uh, like you think about it. Uh, isn't that what the like? do you think the boogeyman was used back when it first created, like it was said to be the devil, blah blah blah? Do you think it was used more by religious people or by non-religious people who couldn't use the Bible as
100% religious people, dude.
Yeah,
but isn't
yeah,
that what the
100%.
Bible's there for? Is like to scare the kids into doing the right thing? Like that's why there's all
No,
these
I mean,
God's wrath and Jesus this
I
and
mean, I think like from like some families that I've seen, they more or less tell people it's the devil's work, they're going to hell more than like
Mhm.
God's wrath, or like Jesus will punish you. It's
Mhm.
more like you're going to hell, you know,
Mhm.
blah
And
blah blah.
I
Jesus is not forgiving.
I didn't mean to say Jesus in a negative context
I
because
know.
in
I was just
Bible
saying, but
he's
like
the yeah
God and Jesus are the
same thing.
like it doesn't stop. God and Jesus are the forgiving, figures of it. Saying,
Mhm.
and if like the boogeyman started as a devil, it's really not hard to be like, oh yeah, the boogeyman's a devil incarnate. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's
Right.
like the devil on earth trying working his powers.
Yeah.
So the
I think
boogie, yeah.
much.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, much like most of the religious following, you get enough people to believe in something if they're utilizing it to create a certain outlook on something or to sway people's actions or opinions of something very easily. Would
Mhm.
make sense how it was used and why it spread so easily. It's like you see, word of mouth is, oh, I scared my kid or scared people into doing this and that by saying the boogeyman, and then that just kind of spreads
Mm.
because.
It's like little
Yeah,
Billy
Johnny
used to touch himself a lot, but I told him if he touched himself at night, the boogeyman was gonna get him, and he hasn't
he
touched himself since.
haven't caught him since. Little Timmy, like bless his heart, rest in peace, really helped us out. It's,
But 50 years down the road, little Billy became a serial killer because he was so traumatized from his childhood.
that's are you guys ever afraid of becoming someone's boogeyman? Like just subconsciously? It's
um
not hard, right? Because like Rand said, when we were younger, like we loved our brothers and cousin, but like they
There was a
were
fear.
fucking,
Yeah.
you know,
right.
torturing the shit out of us. So like there was a fear when our parents left. We would cry. We would be like, please don't go to the casino or whatever the fuck we were doing. You know,
Hmm.
because we knew what was coming right after, and like they were our own personal boogeymen at the time, right?
Mhm.
I
You guys
mean,
ever fear being that again, Ran, or just like
growing up in Minneapolis and doing everything I had to do to like survive being big, fat, and whatnot, and just being in the hood and everything, like that subconsciously was the goal, was to be the boogeyman. Like that's why I fought so often. It's like if I'm known as this bully or this kid that you don't mess with because he's gonna win the fights, he ain't afraid to fight, like you're gonna be left alone. So back then, like without knowing, yeah, I wanted to be people's boogeyman. But nowadays, yeah, no, there's no reason for me to want to be someone's reason they're scared into doing something or not doing something. Like that's not what I want to be. That's not who I am. Like I want to be that shining light that helps you become better, not the force that drives you to something negative because of something negative. So yeah, I guess there is a fear of being such a negative force in someone's life that in the back of their head they have a fear of you. Like that's not what you want.
Mhm. Mhm.
That just sounds toxic.
Right. Yeah.
Like I
I
said,
I I never fear it because I strive every day to also not be that person. So.
it's the thing, like I strive and I try, but I also know that I have the ability to be that, and I could do it very easily and probably not lose sleep over it.
I probably am somebody's.
Well, it's just because you're blunt, so someone takes it like.
I'm sorry, man.
Uh,
We can hug it out the next time I see you if you want.
that's, that's the thing. It's just like
Help me.
I don't want to be that person because it's not who I see myself as. But like I said, I know I could be that, and I don't think I would lose sleep over it. Uh,
I don't.
don't what?
lose sleep. Actually, I probably gain sleep, honestly. Probably sleep real good at night knowing someone out there is afraid that I'm going to just show up one day.
Probably
Sounds really
some
weird.
kids on the internet that you yelled at and told them that their dad's not ever going to be proud of them.
Dude, they need to know. They need to fucking know that because they went fucking 8-3 on League of Legends that their dad does not give a. All right. They need to know that they had one good game for the first time in 4 days. Their dad does not care. All right.
So Alex drive to be the boogeyman strives from his own unproven love from his father.
You think I give a shit what that nigga think about me? You know what? I hope when he finally decides to listen to any of these, it's this one. So he know for sure.
I'm
Knock him
proud
down
of
a
you,
peg.
Alec.
Me
I
too,
don't-
man.
Thanks, guys.
That's why I put you
You
as
don't
the
really
artist for
have
my
a really-
emotes.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's because I drew them, but for sure. Thank you.
Not a plug or anything, but I just pulled another legendary on Dislight. I just got Ares.
Okay, why you playing games while we recording, dude? What the fuck's wrong with you?
And with that, we want to thank everybody for tuning into
Thanks,
this
guys.
shortened
you very
episode. It was fun. As you know, it is time for that shout out by Alec.
Yeah. Shout out to anyone who sat through that Genie episode the whole way through. That shit was a mess. Like, props to you. That shit was a mess. Like, it was a lot of yelling, and it was everywhere. So thank you.
And shout
you
out
did
to
that.
my dog for deciding that at the end of the podcast he wanted to get up and shake his entire body so you could hear him and lick my arm.
Wait, so he can shout out whenever and whoever he wants, but I
No,
can't?
I'm gonna talk to him after this is done. I just don't want to yell anymore. Okay?
I edit, so I could add it in post.
True, that too. He technically could. He do got that power. You know?
But you guys know the drill. Make sure to follow us on any social media site that you're on. Hypothetically Sound. Head over to YouTube to see a video version of this. And by video version, I mean we're using PNG tuber thingamajiggers. Some very fancy stuff that my boomer mind can't wrap around. It's actually very simple. Just head to YouTube and watch it. And we have a sprite challenge, all kinds of videos that are fun and interesting. So go check them out.
Soon you can see Xavier maybe drink some dirt soda.
Yeah.
Some dirt soda, some other sodas.
So exciting. Yeah.
We got one hit wonder contest, all kinds of stuff. Content galore, wrestling stuff, all kinds of stuff. Just if you have an interest, we probably cover it. And if it's not there, leave a comment and we'll do it because we're here for
desperate.
you. Yeah, desperate.
We're here for you. You got to pick one.
We're here for you. It sounds better.
Yeah, here for
we're
you.
Thank you.
And until next time, guys, have a
Take
great
it
one.
easy.
Deuces.
Thank you. Love you.